Welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here, and I do mean that sincerely because what you're choosing to do right now, today, by pressing the play button on the episode, is exactly what all Americans need to do right now. Pay attention to what is going on around us. My name is Millie Ryan, and today I wanted to bring you a sampling of some of the feedback that the Franklin County Commissioners were given this past Monday, the 25th, at their regular meeting. The voices that you'll hear show the frustration of the local residents at their voices not being heard. But before we do that, let's have a look at why we're doing this and what we want to accomplish by staying active and involved and paying attention.
Our voices do matter.
The fight started last summer, and we were on the ground to cover it. Residents were furious when they found out that
Hey, ho, ho, the data centers got to go.
Data centers are not allowed within the city of St. Charles. Today, it is finally city ordinance.
On Tuesday, St. Charles, Missouri made history, becoming the first U.S. city to ban data centers indefinitely. After sustained public pushback, the city changed its land use rules so that data centers cannot be built within city limits.
It's amazing. To get this passed, I just started showing up to meetings, didn't really know how big it was until the whole community got involved. We used our voices, and we defeated large corporations, large conglomerates. Our voices do matter.
The fight started last summer, and we were on the ground to cover it. Residents were furious when they found out that the city signed a secretive NDA with data center developers to build a $1 billion data center campus without any community input.
Anybody that's against this, please stand up.
After intense pushback, the company behind Project Cumulus withdrew its application for permitting.
Council members, you are well aware we are not voting tonight on the application. That's because we have withdrawn the application.
St. Charles has shown that we are a formidable community, and we have no problem taking on the still unnamed multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Yes.
Our question, should you try to return? We, the good people of St. Charles, Missouri, will be waiting.
Yes, we will.
Last August, after months of sustained pressure, the St. Charles City Council passed a one-year moratorium on data centers. But residents knew that for ironclad guarantees, it would take a more permanent ban to keep data centers away for good.
We faced a very powerful local developer that, at the end of the day, they were building this for a multi-trillion-dollar tech company. It was such a swift and powerful grassroots effort by our community that was able to shut this down.
We've worked hard to get this done. We've been contacted by communities all over the United States trying to fight this same thing, wanting to know what we did, who we contacted, how we reached out to the public to get this done. I will say it was truly a community effort.
We hope that our work here, we can inspire other municipalities who are fighting and dealing with this to keep going forward, keep pressing forward. Your health and your community come first.
Thank you for all your activism and keeping our water safe. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, guys.
What the people of Franklin County have done over the past several months is a textbook example of grassroots civic engagement at its best. They did not simply show up and shout. They organized, they formed coalitions, they filed public record requests under Missouri's sunshine laws, and obtained documents the developers had not volunteered. They attended every meeting. They created informational resources for their neighbors. Many of our coalition members have been helping others all through the state and through the country. They have shared everything they learned freely, generously, with anyone who would listen. And that kind of effort is really hard. It takes time, and people don't have time to take away from their families, their work, their rest. It costs emotional energy when meeting after meeting ends with the feeling of being dismissed. And it requires a commitment that most people never have to summon because they never have to fight this hard for something they assumed was protected. And let's have a listen to a few of the speakers from this past Monday's Commissioners meeting in Union, May 25th.
Commissioners, good morning. Good morning. I stand here this morning disgusted by what this process and farce has become. Thousands of pages of citizen opposition have been submitted. 13 hours of testimony before planning and zoning. 13 more hours before this commission on May 18th. 26 hours of citizens pleading with you. Farmers, families, business owners, retirees, taxpayers. We showed up, we did the homework, we trusted the process, and now the file is closed. What a slap in the face, and what a farce. You've sent a message to us. We've heard enough, but we the people have not. And worse, on April 28th, Dave, you asked me for some time out here in the hallway to discuss this topic. I asked you to consider town halls. You looked me squarely in the eyes, shook my hand and said, I will look into it. Dave, you shook my hand. That was nearly a month ago. And what has happened? Nothing. It's clear to me now, Dave, you were lying to me and you've been lying to this county for far too long. You, sir, have no honor. Why are you avoiding the town halls? Why avoid standing in front of citizens who you represent for an unscripted public conversation? Why ask people to speak for hours into a microphone yet refuse to engage them in actual dialogue? Yep. Are you listening? No. Have you guys heard us? No. How could you guys have read that much paperwork in such a short amount of time? I'm astounded. It was this tall on your desk. If our efforts are not enough to further conversation, then what exactly is the threshold? Or is there no threshold because this decision has already been made? It's clear. Hear us clearly, gentlemen, today as I stand here. Closing a file does not close accountability or outrage. We will remember this moment. I quote our Declaration of Independence. When a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. Commissioners, your actions are dishonorable, and come August, we will hold you accountable. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So I actually have a picture here that I'm hanging for you guys, but I'm going to show everybody first. This is actually a whale, and it's made up of thousands and thousands of small fish, and it's eating a shark. I'm going to let them stare at this while I talk. I'm highly disappointed that our county attorney is not here today. I'm going to move this right up to my mouth because I've been quiet and calm, and I've tried to be kind for weeks upon end. I personally not attacked any of you, and I've been trying to keep the peace between you three and Mark and those of us screaming back here no to this life-altering decision. I'm done, gentlemen. I'm done. Ephesians 5:11-14 instructs us as believers to avoid sinful behaviors and works of darkness, but instead expose them by living righteously and by shining a light of truth, and the true nature of evil will be revealed, and call his people to awaken from spiritual death so Christ can shine. Wake up, gentlemen. Wake up. Burning question. Where are the chips and building materials coming from the unknown companies that will be housed in these buildings? Guess what? We all know the majority of these hyperscale centers are built for government purposes, including surveillance. The Defense Federal Acquisition Regulation restricts specific material usage. Occupancy will determine construction material usage. So why do we not have this information? This is another non-disclosed legality that can be used to protect our people. Absentee Mark. Now, either we have a completely incompetent attorney or an intentionally corrupt attorney. Which is it, guys? There are a multitude of statutes and other laws along with this legality that are protective of your residents here. So why have none of these been investigated and presented to you, the commissioners, and to the public? Absentee Mark. Dave, did you have conversations with Kehoe about any AI data centers potentially being placed in Missouri prior to your appointment?
Of course.
Oh. Do you want to answer that on the record, yes or no?
I'll answer after we get done with your testimony.
Dave, did Governor Kehoe ever say he will appoint you as commissioner if you approve these specific applications in Franklin County, yes or no?
No. I'm not going to continue this, but you're specifically telling me this.
I am not done.
Well, you have 10 seconds. You have 10 seconds.
No, I will spend my time speaking. These people want to hear what I have to say. It has been made very clear with the announcement of the Google data center being placed in Montgomery County that Kehoe is the puppet master. You can turn my mic off all you want. I'll just talk louder. You were appointed here as commissioner for Franklin County to be his puppet and pass these data centers, even against the will of the people. When did you sell your soul to the devil, Dave?
Dana, your time has expired.
We know the game being played from the state level, and how is it trickling down to our county?
Next is Patricia Schubert.
We have rights through the Freedom of Information Act approving any
Patricia, your time starts now.
an act of quid pro quo. This is not accusatory. This is stating factual information. Shall I remind you, this is exactly what Blagojevich was in prison for. You two men, honestly, should dive deep into
Patricia, your time is being
you're going to sink in the
expired.
and Kehoe ship right along with them if you don't stop this, guys. You want to start answering questions now, feel free. If not, you'll end up doing so under oath in a court of law. After your full and complete dismissal for common due and decency, your utter disrespect of the process, Dave, and your behaviors during the 13-hour hearing last Monday were disgusting, deplorable, and unlawful. You three and Mark should not only be ashamed of yourselves, you all should be begging to resign before you're ousted from your seats. At this point in time, nothing, and I mean nothing, excuses your tyrannical behavior. You work for the people of this county, not Kehoe, not the state, nor any of your personal individual interests. Paul was allowed to publicly tear up a paper that was submitted as legal documented testimony that even Dave said on the record was going to be submitted into a file as evidence. Then, Ken, it was more important for you to pay attention to the back of your eyelids while my
Patricia, you now have 2 minutes.
My 13-year-old son was speaking, and he was not the only one dismissed during your random snooze fest through the day. I am now infuriated, and so are thousands of others throughout the county. A procedural objection was placed on the record that a public hearing is only meaningful if the decision makers are fully present and attentive to the testimony given. That hearing should have been either continued or left open. As far as the public is concerned, that hearing is legally illegitimate. So I will repeat again what was stated that evening. We the people demand that you reopen the files and continue the hearing for all of those that were unable to speak that day in pursuant to RSMO section 110.020.02. You vote no on the rezoning regulations now, or this goes to a vote of the people. Let me tell you, men, you have 2 options at this point. 2 options. You either do your highly paid jobs as the people of this county have demanded you do, including Mark. If the developers or landowners try to sue this county, which includes all of us, they will have no leg to stand on, guys, because in a court of law, you would have us to back you. Or 2, you approve shoddy structured regulations and approve rezoning requests for 2 pieces of land that you know damn well are not compatible and placement of these infrastructures, and not only will you have your asses voted out of office, but you will sit in litigation with a county of over 100,000 people fighting not only the developers and the landowners, but you 3 personally will pay legal consequences for all of the blatant documented, recorded, and live stream corruption we have seen play out in front of all of our own eyes. This is not a threat, gentlemen. This is just fair warning. For hell's sake, you 4 do not, including Mark, know better than the thousands of us in this county. We are saying no, and we will fight you all the way through the litigation process. There's way more of us in this city here in this county. You will not win this. The people of the county will.
Patricia Schubert.
You are welcome
guys.
job, Dave.
And I will keep speaking up. I will not go away, guys. I'm not sorry either.
They're not listening, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
My one voice speaks for many.
Patricia, you now have the microphone.
And I agree with her.
Thank you.
60,766 people. 3,793 people. 6,741 people. Those are the individuals who have signed a petition in this county asking that this not be in industrial areas, not be at the Pacific site, nor at the Villa Ridge site. The local people added up to almost 11,000 people, plus people who signed a national petition saying not in industrial areas. This is sort of the outcry across the nation. These should not be in agricultural areas. They should definitely not be near people, not near residences. Jennifer pointed out
I'm sorry.
the 4 different counties that we had the chance to take a look at. They're in this binder also. I highlighted them in a half an hour. Things that stood out clearly about exposure to low frequency noise and vibration and the impacts of people who live closest to these. If we had known when you guys signed the NDA with at least one of these developers back in December of last year, we would have had a chance to review this. Jennifer has a PhD. I have a degree in biology. We have people who have lots of experience here. One of the individuals who lives closest to this site in Villa Ridge is an IT management professional of about 40 years. You could have gotten input from people. The first hearing that happened in January, you had the attorney from the Arboretum, I'm sorry, I can't call it the Nature Reserve, the Missouri Botanical Garden site in Villa Ridge say, assemble a group of people who are experts who could inform you. We don't expect one person to know all of this information, but we can all read, and you have these documents. I cannot believe your planning and zoning department and other people were able to find this almost immediately. Your attorney certainly would have been able to find this. All I had to do is search for best practices for data-centered regulation in the United States of America by county, and I was able to pull it up. We met at a coffee shop the other day to review some of this information. Please take the time, please say no, say moratorium, say we deserve better than this. We want all of us to be successful in this county, and we want to preserve our way of life.
Indeed, thank you.
Yeah.
I also want to mention the numbers about who wanted to show up at the hearing on the 18th. Just to conclude, in 2 days, we made a Google document, put it on the internet. We know everybody's not on the internet, certainly not on the weekend before a hearing. 188 people wrote back to say, we would want to attend, but we cannot. 160 of those were due to work. I had asked, could you potentially set up a sign-up form that allowed people to at least know I'm here for 2 hours. So I take off 2 hours from work and then I can go to work. But instead we all sat in that room for 13 hours. That's not legitimate input into a process.
Right.
Patricia,
and I believe, just one last thing, please. Can you please open the files and have a hearing that's legitimate?
Yep.
That people can attend. And I think then you would hear the majority of people in this county do not want this form of development right now without guardrails and these kind of regulations, not what you're looking at. Thank you.
To every person who has shown up, spoken up, circulated a petition, shared a post, attended a planning meeting, called a commissioner, or simply stayed informed, you are what representative democracy is supposed to look like. Your persistence matters. History's full of examples where the determined, organized voice of ordinary citizens ultimately changed what powerful institutions had already decided. Please do not stop.